everyone, my name is Aulia Yasmin and my student number is 2023-32081. Welcome to today's session where we'll walk through the MongoDB query for our practical task. We'll cover each step in detail, explaining the logic, the queries, and what expected output is. Let's dive in the first tag, adding data to our transaction collection. In task 1, we were required to add 10 new transactions to our transaction collection. Each transaction should include multiple products, different payment methods, and unique timestamp. The query we used was the insert many operation in MongoDB, which allows us to add multiple documents at once. This query adds 10 transaction documents to the transaction collection. Each document has one transaction ID, which uniquely identifies a transaction, a customer ID to identify the buyer, an item array that contains information about the product purchase, including product ID, name, price, and quantity, a total file that sums up the cost of all items, a payment underscore method indicating how the transaction was paid for, and last, a timestamp marking when the transaction occurred. The query returns our acknowledgement if all documents are inserted successfully, showing the number of documents added. Next, let's move to task 2 where we explore some basic query. In task 2, we work query to retrieve data based on specific condition. This query filter the transaction collection to find all documents where the payment method field is set to credit card. The output will include all such transactions. Next, we find all transactions with a total greater than 1,000. This query uses $GT operator to find document where the total field is greater than 1,000. The result will include transaction with high value. And then we count transaction on 2024-11-28. The query uses a regular expression to match timestamp that start with 2024-11-28, effectively counting all transactions on that date. Now let's move to task 3 where we use logical and array operator to extract meaningful data. This query will help us transaction based on logical condition or the structure of array. Let's break down step by step. First, transaction with total greater than 1,000 or payment method PayPal. This query uses the $ or operator, which means the transaction must meet at least one of the two conditions. First, the total is greater than 1,000, and 2, the payment underscore method is PayPal. And MongoDB will return all transactions that satisfy at least one of these conditions. Let's run this query. And as you can see, transactions with a total greater than 1,000 or with the PayPal payment method are included in the result. This query gives us flexibility when we want to include multiple conditions. Next, transaction that include a product name laptop. This query search for transaction where the item array contains a product with the name laptop. MongoDB.notation items.name allows us to directly access the name field within the items array. And here we see the transaction that include laptop in the list of item. MongoDB simplifies working with embedded array like this. Next, we find transaction where at least two products were purchased. In this query, we're checking whether the items array contains at least two elements. By refreshing item.1, we confirm that index 1 is exists, which corresponds to the second product in the array. And as we can see, only transaction with two or more products appear in the result. This is particularly useful when analyzing bulk purchase. Next, let's move on to task 4 where we utilize evaluation operator like $regex for text search and $average for calculation and $group for aggregation. First, we find transaction where product names contains phone. The $regex operator helps us search for pattern with text field. Here, the case insensitive search find transaction containing the word phone in the product name. Next, we calculate transaction with totals above the average. This query first calculate the average total of all transactions using $group and $average. Then it find transaction where the total exceeds this average. The results vary depending on the dataset. Next, we count transaction by payment method. here we group transaction by the payment underscore method field and count how many transactions fall into each category. This aggregation helps us understand the distribution of payment methods. Alright, we explore logical and array-based query along with evaluation operator. Now let's dive into task 5 and task 6 where we focus on updating data and analyzing it further. This task involves making changes to our dataset and performing advanced data analysis to extract meaningful insight. Let's begin with task 5 where we modify and update transaction records. First, we adding a new file status with default value pending. In this query, we are adding a new field called status to all documents in the transaction collection. The field will have default value of pending. Update many and the empty condition ensure that this update applies to all documents in the collection. And $set status pending, this operator creates a new field called status in each document and assign it the value pending. And the output confirms that 10 documents were updated. If we query any document in the transaction collection, now you will notice that each one has status field set to pending. This is helpful to tracking the status of each transaction. Next, we updating status for specific transaction. In this query, we're updating a specific transaction where transaction underscore ID equals T1001. Update one transaction underscore ID T1001 filters the document to find the transaction with the specified transaction underscore ID. And $set status complete updates the status field to complete for that document. And as we can see, one document was matched and updated. If we query for transaction underscore ID T001, we'll see the status field has changed to complete. Next, we adding a discount field for transaction with total more than 1,000. This query adds a discount field for all transactions where the total amount exceeds 1,000. The discount is calculated as 10% of the total. And the total $GT1000 filters document where the total field is greater than 1,000. And $set creates a new field called discount and assign it a value of 10% of total. The $multiply operator perform this calculation dynamically. And the result shows that 3 transactions meet the condition and were updated. Now, if we check this document, they will have a discount field reflecting 10% of their total. Now that we modified the data, let's move to task 6, which involves analyzing the dataset to extract insight. We will use aggregation and filtering technique for this. First, we finding the top 5 most popular products. This query identifies the top 5 most popular products based on the quantity sold. And the and when $items breaks down the items array so that each product becomes its own document. And groups this document by product name and calculate the total quantity sold using $sum. And sort the product in descending order of quantity sold. Lastly, limits the result of top 5 products. And the result shows the top 5 products based on their sale volume along with the quantity sold for each. Next, we finding the customer with the highest total spending. This first query identifies the customer who has spent the most. And $group is for groups transaction by customer underscore ID and calculates the total spending. And $sort is sort customer by total spending in descending order. And $limit limits the result on the top customer. And the result shows that customer C006 spent the most with a total spending of 4,500. Next, we filter transaction within a data range. This second query retrieves all the transactions that occur between November 1, 2024 and November 30, 2024. And timestamp $GTE and $LTE it for filter transaction where the timestamp is within the specified range. Next, we deleting transaction with total less than 100. This query deletes all transactions where the total is less than 100. The delete many remove all the document matching in the condition, and the total $LT100 specify the condition for deletion total less than 100. And the output confirms that two transactions were deleted successfully. And that wraps up our MongoDB walkthrough. In this session, we covered how to update and analyze transactional data effectively using MongoDB powerful query and aggregation features, from modifying records to advanced data analysis, and we tackled a wide range of tasks. I hope this has clarified the concept and helped you feel more confident with MongoDB. Thank you for joining and happy querying!